First half wasn't pretty for the Dubs. Midway through the third quarter, the Pacers had took a brief 65-64 lead with about 3:31 left in the frame. From that point on, the Warriors outscored the Pacers 50-18. That's right, 50-18. They outscored the Pacers there to blow them away here at Chase Center to remain undefeated at home. As we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors postgame live here at the Gatehouse at Drive City. We got Fezzy locked in.
Yes, sir.
I'm a little discombobulated right now because of what we saw. Zena K to the pride of Yale. I'm Bonte Hill. Zena, we were watching the game thinking, how's this a game? It was ugly. And that final score, I don't think, really tells a story of this basketball game.
Yeah, you clock into the score and you're like, ooh, of course, this was an easy win for the Warriors. The Pacers don't have their people. They don't have a squad right now. Yeah, it was a little bit tougher than that score shows. And I'll say this, the young guys were really the ones that had to step up, particularly in that second half, just showing what happens when you can move off ball, when you get inside the paint and you can get easy buckets. But going through this game, it was a struggle. It was a battle for them.
But you know what? Will Richard, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler helped change that energy midway through the third quarter, Fezzy.
Yeah, Bonte, I think what I saw in the second half was the Warriors trying to find a way to play the game without Steph. Offensively, Jimmy Butler now became the focal point. He became the ball handler. And as a forward, the way that you become the focal point is by drawing double teams, by getting to the post. A little slower, a little more methodical, but they did not turn the ball over. It's only 10 turnovers for the whole game for the Warriors, which has been a huge factor for them. Defensively, they turned it up. Now they're in the passing lanes. Will Richard was incredible. Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, all these guys did a great job. Got layups that way. In the second half, they blew the lid wide open.
And we saw Uncle Al hit some threes, right?
That's right. That's what happens when you move the ball, when you get into the paint. I thought Jimmy Butler did a great job getting to the paint early. He ended the first half that way, brought that into the second half. Fourth quarter, he really took over, and that was the big difference in the game.
I know at least 2 of Al Horford's threes were from Jimmy Butler penetrating into the paint, collapsing the defense, and Al Horford being able to react and be able to put the shot up. But I just loved, again, this is something that we've needed to see out of Al Horford, being able to knock down those open shots. Everything about this game was, okay, we've been struggling in the first half. We couldn't find easy buckets. We couldn't get open easily. And then in the second half, you saw the attention to detail, whether they went into that zone and things were just zipping a little bit better. They were trapping a little bit better on the corners. They just were so much more active in that second half. And I think they atoned a little bit for that first half.
I was not worried about Big Al. Big Al is a veteran in this league. I'm not worried about him.
You never worry.
You were thinking about 4 for 6 from 3. I'm thinking about the 3 block shots on the other end. That's what he does. Defensively, I thought he was locked in. It's really interesting, though, that Al is strictly a 3-point shooter now in this Warriors offense. But what I want to see more of, and it's what I saw in the second half, is the points in the paint. It's the penetration into the defense, making sure you get those easy ones. When you get the easy ones, those threes fall a little bit better and they fall a little easier as well.
Yeah, Al Horford bouncing back from an 0-for-8 game in Sacramento last week. A nice bounce back for him, and he'll go on a road trip feeling good. And he stopped by to speak to Fitz and Buki.
So Al Horford rebounding, defending, and tonight 4 of 6 on threes. That had to feel good for you.
Absolutely. Trying to win this game before we hit the road on a tough road trip there, it was important.
You guys were so consistent defensively. You had some wonderful defensive plays. What are the discussions like in a game like this where it's kind of ugly? Guys are struggling at times offensively early on, but trying to keep your consistency defensively. What are the messages from a guy like you, a Draymond Green, the leaders of this team?
Yeah, Draymond challenged us to be better defensively. We needed to have better energy, and we did that. Obviously, Pacers are depleted, but, you can't sleep on teams. So I felt like our defense was spot on from the beginning, and we were able to wear them down as the game went on.
You're mentoring 2 other young bigs on this team, and Trace and Quentin are very different games, but 39 years, you're on your way to the Hall of Fame. What's it like talking to those 2 young bigs? They play so differently, but you've seen just about everything in this league.
No question. Those are guys that are two really good players that want to learn, that want to grow. Quentin is always asking me questions and trying to get perspective on things. And the results are starting to show for him. He came out tonight, and I felt like he set the tone for us, hitting some threes, being aggressive, getting to the basket. And Trace is, continues to stay ready and making the most of his opportunities.
What's it been like for you playing on a team like this where whenever you guys do get into rhythm offensively, it's really pretty, a lot of cutting, you're able to play off guys. Your pick and pop was working tonight. We've seen Quentin post with his pick and pops. Seems like it can be a really fun team to play on when you get to play off of Jimmy Butler and a Steph Curry when he's healthy.
No question about it. It's, we have to continue to find it. We have to continue to work, but it all starts with, that level that coach wants us to play at. He wants us to play with really high energy and for that to be consistent. And playing off of Jimmy, playing off of Steph, Draymond, they make the game really easy for the rest of us.
Al, we'll let you go with this. You have a championship from Florida. What do you think of that other rookie and Will Richard with a championship from Florida? He's something to watch.
Will is great. He's doing everything. He's mature beyond his years, and he's showing it. So it's great that we have him here.
Hey, it's great to have you here. 19 years in the league. We love that you're a Warrior. Great game tonight. Thanks for stopping.
Thank you.
All right, that is Al Horford. Big Al with 4 threes and definitely needed in the Warriors. The getaway game. They get the win. They move to 6-5. They're undefeated at home and off to see the defending champs in OKC bring on that road trip. We will talk to you on Tuesday from Oklahoma City.
Is it Big Al or Uncle Al?
Big Al to me.
Big Al.
Especially when you go 4 of 6 from 3. You
go 4 of 6 from 3. And how about the bench? He helped lead the bench with an advantage of 57-30 when it came to point production because the starters, they struggled at times in this game. And midway through the third quarter again, Indiana came out on fire, made 5 made threes to take a 65-64 lead. But then Jimmy finding Al Horford to get him in rhythm. Again, he was coming off an 0 for 8 performance up in Sacramento, couldn't buy a basket, missed a game Friday night in Denver with the toe injury, but he came alive alongside Will Richard. It was the bench tonight, Fezzy Fell, that played their roles to a T.
Oh, give me that.
And we always said role players play a lot better at home. They don't need to take this act on the road.
That's a big shot right there by Will Richard. I thought he also came in and brought a lot of energy. The bench and energy, that's exactly what Steve Kerr was looking for. He needed some competition. You're going against an Indiana Pacers team that has a lot of their stars out. That means that their bench is going to come out with some fire, trying to earn some playing time. So you can't look at this as a trap game. The Warriors are trying to get their rhythm back. They're trying to figure out a way to play without Steph tonight. The guy who this whole offense is built around. Will Richard came in the game. He brought a lot of energy. I thought the second chance points was a huge indicator of how much energy the Warriors play with. Second chance points, 21-12. It says a lot about the energy the Warriors brought into that second half, especially the fourth.
Coming into this game, the three of us talked about the number one thing the Warriors need to figure out right now are adjusting, particularly when Steph is not on the floor. And in this game, we're talking about the bench right now. In the first half, there were 5 bench players that played. Buddy Hield, -8. Moses Moody, -4. Al Horford, -4. Pat Spencer, -1. They were the worst lineup when they were out there on the floor in the first half. What happens in the second half flipped. Buddy Hield +4, Moses Moody +22, Al Horford +9, Pat Spencer +11. Will Richard gets on the floor +19. That's the adjustment you have to make. You've got to be able to realize when something's not working, when our defense isn't working, or when our offense isn't working, if we're not getting into the paint where we're not in the spots that we need to be. That's what you saw the bench do. And I think more than anything, no matter how many points they put up, how many points they limited Indiana to, it's the adjustment in the real time that's impressive, and it's a huge thing, an indicator for going on the road to be able to do that.
I mean, the way that you do stuff like that, the way you flip the game is you have to impose your will on the other team. Yeah. I thought the Warriors did that. Turning the ball over, turning the Indiana Pacers over. The Indiana Pacers take care of the ball.
They do.
Every game they average 13 turnovers again, which is really good in this league. But tonight they had 20 turnovers. 11 of those were steals from the Warriors. 6 of those came from the bench. So the bench came into the game with a lot of energy, with a lot of force, with a lot of fire. Second chance points was huge, running the ball in the second half, and those came from turning the Indiana Pacers over and really taking control of the game that way.
Warriors +14 when it came to points off turnovers. I want to stick with Will Richard for just a second. 20 minutes tonight, or 19 minutes and 29 seconds, 15 points, but it was the energy. It's the deflections. It's being in the right spots. He is pushing some of these guys for minutes here. He's already catapulted GP2 in the rotation. We didn't see much of GP2 tonight. 3 minutes and 52 seconds when the game was decided. Will Richard may get some starts moving forward. This upcoming road trip, I think there's a lot on the line for a lot of rotation players. And Will Richard is saying, hey, I need about 20 to 25 minutes a night.
I don't know if we can call Will Richard one of the young guys anymore. He plays with so much poise and so much confidence. He gets in the game. He takes care of the ball. He's in the right spot at all times, cutting off of guys on the team, playing to their strengths and using that to his benefit. I think he's showing all the capabilities of a player that you can trust. Yeah. And for Steve, when you're going through a skid, this is where you really know the players. When you go through adversity, this is where you really know what people are made of. And right now, he's showing that you can trust me, I can be in the game, and I can make an impact.
What I love about his poise at such a young age, too, is he's always making the right rotations, but he's also someone who can dribble drive and create off the dribble. Something the Warriors desperately need right now is someone that can get to the basket and not make turnovers or not make anything feel uncomfortable. He's working within the role of the offense to be able to create his shots. I mean, we saw that nice little pull-up step back that he had at the free throw line. These are the type of things that can really bring your stock up when it comes to this roster. You're talking about we didn't see much GP2. We didn't see any Jonathan Kuminga in that fourth quarter. Yep. And Will Richard came in, guarding Andrew Nembhard, being able to do his duty in that zone, and then be able to create as well.
Jonathan Kuminga, 4 of 19 in his last 2 games. Didn't play, as you mentioned, in the fourth quarter. Will Richard also got to the free throw line 8 times, making 7 of those freebies.
Yeah. He's not scared of the moment. He comes out there, he takes those shots, and he's going to the basket. Like, that's the way you get fouled, is by going to the basket. And I've said it over and over. Those points in the paint is something the Warriors have been lacking severely. Right now, they're at the bottom of the league. I think bottom 2, bottom 4 in the league in points in the paint. Got to get that up so that you can get easier shots in the game.
Well, Jimmy Butler started getting buckets, and he started getting to the paint as well. Helped flipping that game in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler with an all-around solid night. 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Did it all.
As you mentioned, got Al Horford set up from the three-point line. It just said, you know what, I'm going to take it upon myself to really lead this team to a victory. We're not losing to the Pacers tonight, Zena.
7 assists, and that's what you need from Jimmy Butler. Not only being able to finish at the rim, force the issue at the rim. This team was huge. Indiana was all over the glass, and he was the main person getting to the rim, flashing, teaching everybody else that was out there with him, move when the ball is not in your hands. And remember, that's sometimes not what we associate Jimmy Butler with. We associate him with being able to hold the ball and assess how he wants to go about his ISO. But he was having such a balanced game tonight, being able to go ISO when he was in the post area for the split action, or being also able to just flash and get easy buckets from his teammates being able to see him.
I think that's one of the reasons why the turnovers are down. I think Jimmy slowed the pace down. This is a different pace. If you are playing with Jimmy Butler as the ball handler, he's going to slow it down a little bit, have you guys come ball screen, get into the middle of the paint, and find some guys. He'll post up, wait for the double team, or if he don't double team him, he's going to score. You saw that against Andrew Nembhard. You saw any of the players that they had guarding Jimmy Butler in the post, that's a mismatch. But if you double team him, then it creates for other guys. I thought Jimmy Butler did a little bit of everything tonight, and is exactly what the Warriors need to get this thing going again.
And what do y'all know? Indiana didn't win a chase hitter. All right, let's hear from Al Horford. We don't want to go through that again. We don't want to see that.
Al, just after that, how do you feel physically?
I feel good today. Feel much better, and it was just good to get back out there.
How do you feel like you guys are playing as a team?
So I think we're doing okay. I feel like after last game, Draymond challenged us to be better and come out with more intensity, better energy, and I felt like we did that today, and it's something that that we have to continue to do every day, every game, because if we do that, we're going to be in a really good position as a group. But it's something that has to be constant, and it's a good start. And now we hit the road, and we'll see where we're at.
With Draymond challenging the group, you haven't been teammates with him for too long. What have you learned from him about his leadership style and how he goes about things like that? He's very sharp. He gives great perspective, and I feel like he's reasonable, with us, and let's kind of paints the picture clear. And I feel like he's teaching out there a lot when he's getting after us or saying stuff. So I feel like he does a really good job with that. And for me, it's just trying to learn, absorb from him, and seeing how he operates. And he knows when he has to get up and down and all that stuff. So just things that you've seen from afar over the years. And now that I'm here, I'm able to see it firsthand.
Yeah, Al, you mentioned the trip. How much of a challenge and a test is this? Not just 6 games in 9 days, but you're playing the defending champs. You're playing San Antonio twice with Wemby. Yeah. I mean, you obviously got a tough road ahead. How significant is it this early in the season?
I mean, I think it's significant. I think it's, I know it's still November, but it's a big challenge, for our group and the way to address it. And I know that we will. It's, we'll take it a game at a time, and, we can't overlook anyone. And, all I'm thinking is, OKC, they're playing at home. They play really well, defending champs, like you said. So we can't even think about the rest of it. Just have to focus on that first one. That's going to be great to see kind of where we're at as a group.
And you've only played 11 games here, but the first 8 with Steph, the last 3 without. How much, beyond the obvious talent and scoring, how much does it change just the feel of a game when he's out there versus not? It sounds like you guys are optimistic he'll be back out Tuesday.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it changes completely. It changes completely. So it is. It's a privilege, luxury, whatever you want to call it. But it's that big of a difference when he's not in. And I know that it's the NBA, and we have to find ways. But we can't wait for him to get back out there, and hopefully it's on Tuesday.
We're all the time. And I see the Sleep World Highlight Zone. Play number 3. Look at Jimmy Buckets.
Can't fall asleep. Ooh. Crossover.
He kind of lulls you to sleep. With
he
that
rocked
first
him
one,
to sleep. There he went. Wow.
Tony Bradley. Well, you got to move your feet.
Look like that back's starting to feel better, huh? Okay, Jimmy. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Jimmy Buckets. 21, 9, and 7 for Jimmy Butler.
Good steal.
Is it off the head of Al Horford? Nice steal.
Stay alert.
2 hands for safety.
I love the heads up play by Moody.
Nice pass.
Seeing the leak out. Nice overhead. Usually those things are reserved for Draymond, but Moody said, I got you. Don't worry, bro. Keep running.
And again, that back is feeling good if he's getting up there. Dunking, man. And the play tonight right here.
Andy won.
Ooh.
Right in front of Stephen Curry.
Look at him. Height.
4-point play for Moses Moody.
It's the gather for me. Gather, put your feet behind the 3-point line. Make sure you get all 3 of them things.
He's been shooting the lights out of that ball.
No doubt.
Giving the Warriors out of that ball.
Gave the Warriors a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and Wissey outscored Indiana 39-18, and that was the play right there. Because Indiana was nip and tuck, nip and tuck, nip and tuck. You make that basket right there, 4-point play, going to the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead, and the rest is history.